welcome to the November flip through for my business planner and my Wonderland 222. Those are the only two I have set up so far. I'm kind of running a little bit behind getting prepped for Black Friday since I'm having mine early. By the time you see this, it'll have all been over and I'll probably hopefully be all behind me. But I did want to at least share the winter story setup and the pens that I'm using this month, the ink that I'm using this month, and some suggestions for you guys if you're using the winter story kit as well. So this is my business planner, and when you open it up to the month of November, this is how it looks. And I have the Jane's Agenda dividers, the overlay for the month of November, and then this came in this month's for the month of November's subscription box. And then this is a cloth and paper. I have one on every single month, and I don't attach anything to it because I plan on reusing it. So I took the vellum and I kind of cut it down. This is the horizontal one, so this is the where I decided to cut it and then kind of line it up in the middle, and then I'm attaching it with a little clip because, like I said, I don't glue anything to this because I want to reuse them. And then this is the November calendar, which came in the subscription as well. So that is all there. And then I have my this month set up. And I don't put a lot of stuff in here as far as like decoration in my business planner. I do kind of, but I need some room to actually write. So I don't have a ton in here. This will be my main pen color for this month. And I'll show it to you here in a minute when we go over the inks that I'll be using and the pens that I'll be using for the month of November. Now, mind you that this is only the winter story. I'm also in my Wonderland 222, but I have not set it up yet. I'll be using the Gilded Hearth, which is a whole different set of pens and ink because it is a completely different vibe and a completely different color palette. But that's where I'm going to be using, I'm using the Gilded Hearth in my dailies and the winter story in my weeklies and in the monthly setup. So just wanted to get that out because I have not actually set that up yet, but I will share some pictures of that on Instagram if you're interested. So this is what the monthly looks like. And I don't put a lot of stuff decoration wise because I have a lot of appointments and things in here that I need to schedule out. And so I have to leave myself a lot of space to write in the monthly for the business part of the planner. So this is how I have it set up. I'm using the sidebar pieces in the sidebar because I don't tend to put notes in the sidebar. My notes go in my notebook, and then, yeah, and then just some decoration. And then when you flip it over, there's like these 2 pages in between the cloth and paper. That's who these inserts are from, is cloth and paper. There's some inserts that I have that are like the whole entire rest of the year, and they have like these 2 blank pages which are supposed to be for notes. I use them to decorate because I love decorating. This is another piece of that vellum right here, that same horizontal piece of vellum that came in the subscription. I don't have the vertical one. There was so many snafus this month with shipping. I don't know what happened, but USPS is having a hard time shipping. And then also the shipping platform that I use was having trouble, I guess. I don't know. It's never happened before, but I guess having trouble putting the right address. So I had a couple people with that, and I felt really bad. I don't have any control over that, I know, but I gave up my vellum to somebody else to try to make their order right. And then I just finally had to start just refunding because I ran out of stuff. I just don't have anything to make it right for anybody else that's contacting me later on. But a couple of other people didn't get their subscriptions, or they went to another address. I don't even know what happened. But because of that, I don't have 2 vellums to kind of play with. So I ended up doing this, whereas normally I would have done another piece of vellum here and some more deco. I took the full page that I have that you can either tear it, cut it, or whatever, use them as individual boxes. I decided to use it as the whole thing, lay it down, and then put some stickers. I'm sorry, but you're going to hear the dog because she's being a pain. Then when you flip the page, now we get into the weeklies. Again, I don't have a ton of stuff here because I actually do need to write. These are part of the functional, which are the time strips. I use the time strips to kind of divide out the page and to highlight what week that we're in the little monthly at the bottom, and then just put a couple of stickers down, a couple of quote strips down. I also, let me go let her out because she will not stop. So these, anyway, like I said, are the time strips. So I like to kind of divide things out, and I have them matching, and every single week has them. So not a lot of stuff on here. Then when you go to the next page, it kind of looks very similar. There's not a ton of decoration on here. used some of the other stuff from the functional. This is the script background, and I kind of just tore it in half and then used it on either side of the page, and then just kind of did some side decorations. Just easy, simple stuff, giving myself lots of room to write still. Plenty of place to time block. This is the last week, and then we get to the very end, which this is the last part of that horizontal vellum, and then a couple of the bigger pieces of artwork that don't fit anywhere else except on daily pages, but that's where we're at there. So that's all that I have for decoration in here. The rest of it is pretty much the way it looked, other than I changed that out from the winter one, the Christmassy looking one. I'm going to put the Christmassy looking one in December, and I brought that one back from Jane's Agenda last year. I think that was last November. So I put that in there instead of the other one that I had in there when we did the setup video. So that is the business planner. Not a lot of excitement stuff going on there. And then we can get into my Wonderland 222. I have not decorated the mini planner at all yet, so won't be going over that. But the Wonderland 222, the black case won't come in until January, so I'm still in this green case, which actually goes perfectly now with where we're at with this artwork. I'm so happy with this leather case. I've showed it before, so, but if you're curious about what it is, this one is no longer available on Amazon, so I'm not even going to tempt you with it. Just next time I see it up there, I'll mention it and then send you to it, but it's not even available anymore, so I don't want everybody getting mad because they can't find it. But this is how November is set up. So we have that big page in between that I usually put vellum. I'll show you from last month. There's last month. I usually take one of the vellums and put it here, but I told you why I don't have any more. So instead, what I did was I took the big washi sheet that I give you in the subscription, and instead of ripping it, I just put it down as like a big background. Took another one of the half pages, took this adorable little kid, and just kind of put things like that. And then I have this here with paydays and one of the November headers that came in the kit as well. And then here is where I put, this is like a monthly overview page. The Wonderland 222, when you get the printed version, all this information is already on here, but I have to put it myself. So this is where I put like to-do budget, artwork stuff. Like I have it all set up here on the side socials, and then I fill it out throughout the month, which I'm not even sure I did a very good job of filling. Yeah, I did. I filled it out, but that's what it looked like last month. So I do fill it out eventually. And then when you flip over the page, this is a monthly. Again, very sparing because I ran out of stickers. Again, I took a lot of my stuff, my own subscription, and I piecemealed it out to try to fulfill other orders without having to reprint everything all over again. So I didn't have as many stickers as I normally do. So I wasn't able to do any of the dailies, but I did manage to get through the weeklies. So this is a little sparse. But when I do fill this out, I tend to use a lot of icons, which I think you guys have probably seen the icons that I use, but I've got either mine or Once More with Love, which I keep in here, or Coffee Monsters Co., which I also keep in here. So this little thing goes pretty much everywhere with me. I just throw it in a bag and it's got all my icons, and I tend to use those a lot in the monthlies and in the weeklies, as you can see here. Because this week is going to rain pretty much almost all week. We have 2 days where it's not going to rain, and it's going to start raining again. That is from Pinnacle Sticker Co. That's her little Heidi character. Love that one. These are from Coffee Monsters Co. And this is massage therapy, occupational therapy. I need to get one for physical therapy, but I haven't been able to find one. This one, I guess, could go for physical therapy. I don't know. I have icons for everything under the sun right now. I'm trying to find ones that just make me happy because I hate doing these things. So I have to make them look cute because I don't know, it just makes my brain happy. But this is how the first week is set up. And then this is how the second week, like I said, I'm very sparing on the stickers right now, and I have not put my foil down yet. That is something that I want to just sit down and kind of enjoy and relax as I'm setting up the daily pages. I'll pull out the foil and get all that done, because this desk was covered from end to end with functionals and what stickers I could find and all of the things and the pens and everything else. So when I do the foil, I just want a nice clean space and quiet space where I can just kind of sit down and figure out what, and honestly don't know what color foil I want to use. If you have any suggestions for what color foil you think would go best with this, I would love to hear. I think gold or some type of maybe a holographic gold to give it more of a sparkle, but maybe silver might work too. I don't know. I'm not sure. This is such a warm colored kit that I kind of feel like gold goes the best, but even maybe no rose gold. I don't think rose gold, but anyways, let me know. Let me know down in the comments what you think. But here is the third week and then the last week. These right here are all of the sidebar strips from the functional. So if you go looking for Winter Story Functional, you will see a sidebar option. I'm trying to update the website to make sure that they all say the same thing, but it might say terrible washi. If it says terrible washi and it looks like this, then it's the sidebar strips. But you can also use it as terrible washi if you wanted to. So that is everything that I have set up for the month of November so far. Like I said, none of the dailies are done because those are going to be the Gilded Hearth, which I haven't gotten to yet. So now let's move into some of the other fun stuff, which is you guys know that in here I keep all of my little functionals, and so this is where the time strips are and the bullet points are, which I will use throughout the month. So this goes into the business planner, but I pretty much kind of keep it out on my desk because I use it for both planners, for both this one and the business planner. But this is what this is, and I'll show you like an example of that. Let me see if I've got a good example of that. So you can see here that I will use some of those strips up at the top. I use my top side for putting like some appointment stuff, and then I kind of move down from here. Not exactly sure why, but my dog is losing her mind. Hold on. Okay, so got the dogs under control. They were barking because my husband just came home. So the other thing that I have that I've been using quite a bit is this drawer pouch from Hobonichi, and inside of this this is where I keep a lot of my pens, my little markers and stuff, and some stickers and some other stuff, some time strips. I've got like quite a bit of my weather ones in here, and some of my the ones that I use the most are in here, along with some of like tiny stickers that I have. Just kind of didn't really want like these. Didn't want to try to stick them inside of a big old pocket, and they fit perfectly in here, so that's where they are. And this is one of my favorite little new toys that I got, so I'm really happy that I was able to grab it. But that's what's inside of here, and I use that all the time. And then let's go over the pens. So I did a little bit of swatching with some of the pens that I think will go ink-wise with this and what I'm planning on using this month. And then down here is like my little test area where I was like, nope, that's too bright. Maybe, just kind of this is next month, I think. So what I ended up with was these three right here for the greens. So this one came from, I think it was last month's Infinite Lotus, or it might have been, no, actually I think this one was from Cloth and Paper. So this is that half sugar highlighter, and that is this one right here. So you can see that that's a pretty decent green to go along with this. There are some areas, let's see, there's some areas in here that have more like a mossy green, but anyway, this one, actually that one might be nope, that's a different one. I don't know. Yeah, that's that one. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. Completely losing it. This one right here, I think is a good neutral kind of a brown, and that's the fawn color. And then also this one is the pale moss, and that's this one right here. So I thought those three, if you're going to do any type of bullet or highlighting, that those would work really well. And then for my pens this month, I got some pens. These are what we're using. So, oh, this is unbelievably good. So the Diplomat Viper right here is going to be my main pen. And this one has the Good Tidings from Diamine. It's the ink vent from 2024. And it goes down black. It's an extreme sheen. But when you look at it in the light, which hopefully you can see it, it's this beautiful dark green color. shiny green, and that is in the Diplomat Viper, and this is the brown quill pattern, and oh, I love that pen so much. For my regular gel pen, it's going to be the same one I always use, the Zebra G750. This is a heavy pen, and it feels good in my hand. I love writing with that pen. The ink is fantastic. This is a new pen to me. It's an extra fine. I wanted to try an Asvine extra fine, and I wanted something a little different. I have a lot of brown and orange pens, and I wanted to branch out. So I got this one right here, which is this like silver inlay. They call it the silver spider pattern. It doesn't look spidery to me, but you know, whatever. I just put silver inlay, and I filled this one with the, again, this is from the 2024 Diamond ink pen, and this has wishing tree in it, and this ink is very green. It's got a lot of sparklies and shading, and it's a really pretty ink. So this one goes really well with this as well. Then for an orangey kind of red color, because there is some orangey kind of red stuff in here, if you look at like some of the accent colors that go throughout some of the florals and stuff like that, berries and whatnot. So in this Asvine, this is the P20, and this has a fine nib in it, and you can kind of see that there's an ink window. I don't know how well you can see the ink window, but there's an ink window right there, so you can see what color is in it. That's one thing I really like about the Asvine, this pen, is that I can see what's in it. This has the Monteverde Mandarin Orange in it, and I thought that this would be a really good color to go with that. So that's that one. And then in my Banu, which is this one, this is the Iced Caramel Latte. It's kind of an exclusive Goulet Pens pen, which, you know, I have to have all the coffee pens. I just have to. This one has the Colorverse coffee break in it, and look at all of the shading that does. It is beautiful in here, but it's a medium ink, it's a medium nib, so it's a little bit harder like to keep things small with this. I tend to use this one more in my business planner than I do in here. In here, I think 99% of my writing will be with the Diplomat, I feel like, but I might branch out here and there, and then I'll have a whole new set of pens that I'll probably ink up for the dailies, because that color palette is completely different, and I'll probably want to kind of play around with that. So I don't know, we'll see when we get to that one. And then just the last thing really quick is, if you're interested in any of the mild liners, Tombow pens, Zig, whatever, chalk pen, I can give you just a couple of recommendations from the ones that I actually have, because I don't have all of them. Obviously, like, it's kind of a work in progress grabbing them. But again, there's not a whole lot going on with the Maru Hoso pens. They're just not. So again, for fall, we're just going to stick with caramel. I feel like you don't have a ton of options here. Maybe, no, not even any of the greens. No, none of these. Nope, sorry. This one's a no. And then we'll move on to the Tombow pens. Tombow is always going to have some, even with the very limited number of pens that I have, but the avocado goes, the yellow gold goes, the saddle brown goes. So all of those are going to be good options with this. I wouldn't go with the orange because that one's a little too bright, but give you an idea there. For the mild liners, I don't have a ton of those either, but I'm getting there. So for the mild liners, I kind of feel like you have copper again, beige, and gold are going to be your number one. But then I kind of feel like this vermilion, let me go like this. This vermilion might be a good match for that orange as well. If you wanted to bring in something other than some like neutrals, you could go with that mild liner vermilion. And that's that one. Let's skip past the miscellaneous pens. I try to keep track of everything that I have because of videos like this, just so that I can share them with you guys. Chalk inks, it's also easy for me to go looking through this book and find what I need. So anyways, of course, pumpkin spice is going to go, jumbo java is going to go, even hint of pesto will go, any of the greens. I think pretty much anything except eggplant on this page is going to go really well with this collection. Like, you can't go wrong with any of these. And I do plan on ordering some more. Sorry, that's coming out. I do plan on ordering some more of the chalk inks. I actually have some in my cart. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. They're not cheap. That's all I can say. They're not cheap, and I don't use them enough to justify paying for them right now. But I may pull the trigger for the winter colors because I have been using my Coffee Monsters Co. what do you call it? Stamps, the ones that I picked up. I've been trying to use them more often, and so I kind of think that the winter colors for this would probably be a good thing to have so that I can continue playing with those stamps. Anyway, okay, so that is all I have. That's all I've got for you. Yeah, so hopefully there was something in here that gave you some ideas if you have this collection. If you don't have this collection because it was the subscription for last month, this month's is sold out again, but there is a mini journaling collection in there, which you could probably get just as much use out of between that one and the functional, and probably get just as far as I did with the limited number of stickers that I had available to me this month. So even though it's not 19 pages and a bunch of extra stuff, I still feel like there's a decent amount inside of the mini journaling kits to, if you love this collection and you want to use it but you weren't able to grab it, you can always grab that every single month. There's also the kit versions of it, so standard, vertical, A5, and weeks also available in this. And again, the functionals are there. So yeah, that's all I have for you now. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Hope November is going to be totally awesome for you guys. I'll try to get this video up as early as I possibly can to give you some ideas, although I do know that most of you who have this collection have already started decorating because you've been showing me. Yeah, that's all I got for you now, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye!